it ain't no friend to me. Wage a war, wage a war, wage a war. We wage a war against mediocrity, it ain't no friend to me. Wage a war, wage a war, wage a war. We wage a war against mediocrity, it ain't no friend to me.
It ain't no friend of me. We are waging war against mediocrity. What's up out there, family and friends? It's your boy, the motivational teacher to the masses, bringing you another edition of Motivational Monday. Woo! I am so excited to be back with you all. For all my replayers, if you would, please give me about a minute, minute and a half so I can share this to all my social media outlets. And if I'm starting to see the eyes out there, please let the hungry say so out there. Holla at your boy. Hey, Courtney, how you doing? Hope you're having an awesome week. I said every Motivational Monday, I believe that there's a place for the hungry. Hey, Vaniqua, thank you for joining us. I appreciate you reaching out to me last couple of weeks. I know I wasn't on. I got a lot of pouring messages about, hey, we're missing you. And the motivational teacher to the masses is now back, and I am ready to break this bread. I'll be honest, the first week, I had no voice because I was coaching basketball the weekend, and then my voice was just gone that Monday. And then the second week we were on vacation. I had to relax, replenish, and get myself rested, spend some time with the kids. And so now we can break this bread. Yeah, Vaniqua, I am happy to be back. If you all would, please share like this. All my replayers, give me about a minute as I share this. Hey, Deborah, thank you for joining us. That's what I'm talking about. I love seeing the hungry. If y'all would, please share to any groups that you have. Type names in the box. We'll give them about another minute to get on here while I share it also. Multitasking. So please encourage somebody to join us right now because we about to break this bread up. I've been gone for 2 weeks, so y'all know what's about to happen. Y'all already know it's about to go down. Let me share it in one more place. What's up out there, Periscope? I see you. I see you. I appreciate y'all for joining out there in Periscope land. I'm loving it, man. People are on here early already. We got 3 different platforms. I am loving it. Please share this thing to somebody. Put somebody's name down in the chat box, man. Let's get this thing up to about 25 eyes. I'm going to tell you what they say. They say views are down all over Facebook, but I'm going to call that a lie. And I believe all over social media now that the pandemic is loosening up, but I'm going to call that a lie and say that we are more than capable of driving all-time highs because I believe that we are that phenomenal. So if you would, please like, share, host watch parties for this, and we about to get into this bread-breaking moment. I got to say, man, I really did miss you all the last couple of weeks when I was out. I really did. So thank y'all for being here, Courtney. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Vaniqua, for chiming in here on time. And we're about to get back into episode 79 of Awaken Your I Am. I got to say, man, that this thing has really begun to change my life. This Awaken I Am, man, when I started it with episode, well, not even episode 1, I started it with this concept that the only disconnect between a man and God is that a man doesn't know who he is. The only disconnect why a person was settled and sacrifice and not get everything that God has given them before the foundation of the earth is that person do not know who they are. And so I came up with this concept of the great I am awakens my I am. And over the course of these last 79 episodes, I have heard phenomenal testimonies about people going in and putting in for loans. Hey, what's up out there? Ryan, thank you for stopping by to say hello, bro. I've heard phenomenal testimonies about people starting businesses. I heard phenomenal testimonies about people starting back schools. I heard phenomenal testimonies about people walking off jobs to go to another business, man, to something that they thought they could earn more, that they've been earning like, a certain amount for their whole life. And they went and just started looking with Awaken I Am and was able to attract better opportunities. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, whatever you lack in your life, there's a disconnect. There's a disconnect between who you are and what you're becoming. I'm telling you, man, that growth mindset says everything that I want is uphill. And we got to create the mindset, and we got to create the pathway where we can get up here. Ladies and gentlemen, the ball is in our court for the Awaken I Am. All right. In order to have this Awaken I Am, tonight I want to talk about the power of your imagination, part 2. The power of your imagination, part 2. And I'm going to set this up again because it was 2 weeks since I was last on. So let me give y'all a little bit of the background. And if you would, please, if you're out there, you got a comment, please type it in the chat box. If you have something you want to contribute to this conversation, this is a conversation between us sitting here. If there's something, please put it in the chat box and we can pour that piece into this conversation. Imagination, tonight, the power of your imagination. I find it so awesome that God created us in his own image and his own likeness. I find it phenomenal that when he created us without any guardrails. He created us without any limitations in our life. He created us knowing that, man, that these people have the ability to build a Tower of Babel all the way to heaven. They are that creative that if they want to get to me, if I didn't confuse their language, they could build a tower to get to me. People are that creative. Like we are that, even before social media, even before the internet, people were already that creative that they were building a tower to Babel all at one time. Without all the amenities that we have today, they didn't have hammers, they didn't have nails, they had whatever, that they had already had the capability back then to build a tower. He gave us that ability already on the inside of us. Yeah, I'm going to break bread tonight. The power of your imagination. Yeah, Ryan, the Awaken I Am. The Awaken I Am, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, it is something that can absolutely change your life. The person that you think you are might not be the person that you were created to be. I just broke bread. There are too many of us that allow our situations. There's too many of us that allow our past, or I like to say it like this. There are too many of us that allow our environment to shape who we are. I'm going to break bread before this is over tonight. The person that I think I am, I might not even be that person. When they looked at my boy Tyler Perry, when he was going around putting on his plays, they were looking at him as a 6'6" dude wearing a wig, not knowing that the whole time when he was trying to produce Muddy, that TPS was wrapped up in the midst of who Muddy is. Not knowing that when Steve Harvey was sleeping in his car, not knowing that inside of him was a mogul. Not knowing, some of y'all, when David, the little shepherd boy, was on the backside watching the sheep, at the same time, there was a king inside of David. Sometimes you might not even know who you are. That's why the Awaken I Am, boy, the great I Am awakens my I Am to the possibilities that can be. I'm getting ahead of myself. Imagination is the ability to form mental pictures or ideas in the mind. Imagination, the ability to form mental pictures. See, there's so many of us that God gave us this beautiful organism, or they call a brain. He gave us this mind that is so beautiful, it's so awesome that whatever you want to be, if you can conceive it and believe it here, you can attract that to you. The most powerful thing that any man possesses is not his money. It is not his cars or his houses or not his business. The most powerful thing that any man possesses is their mind. I am about to break bread. Is their mind. Your mind is the most powerful asset that you have. It is not your 401k. It is not your stock market account. It is not your job. The most important asset that you have is your mind. And that came to you with standard equipment. It came when you hit earth. God had already given you the most powerful weapon you needed to overcome anything in your life. I just broke bread. If you look at the Marvel Studios, you look at Captain America, he had his shield. His shield was a titanium, I believe, and it could block anything. He could throw it around and come back to him. You look at Thor, his weapon was his hammer. Boom, that he could only one pick it up who could bam. You look at all of these guys, these superheroes. You look at, Batman really didn't have no superpower other than the fact that he had access to a lot of different things. But if you look at it, Your superpower is your mind. It is your imagination. It came with you or to you as standard equipment. Everybody has the ability to imagine. How do we use this weapon? Yeah, TPS, first African American owned major studios in Atlanta, right down the road. And how did that happen? Because it was one man who had an imagination. Yeah, they said all you were was a dude trying to play a woman, this stuff, all that. They had all the different things of why he couldn't do it. But all he was one man with an imagination. And his imagination now is producing the top movies in America. Whether you look at white or black, Tyler, they are all made at TPS. How did that happen, motivational teacher? It was one man with an imagination that had the ability to change the story that he told himself and to imagine what it could be. Imagination, everybody has the ability to imagine, but imagination becomes powerful when you can turn it into manifestation. And that's the challenge for most of us out here today. How do I take these thoughts of mine and materialize them on earth? See, that's the challenge for most of us. And I'm going to talk about that tonight. That's the challenge for most of us. I know, like, oh, I got this business on the inside of me. I got this book on the inside of me. I got this business on the inside of me. I got this nonprofit organization on the inside of me. I know my imagination. I can experience it in my imagination. But motivational teacher, how do I turn imagination into manifestation? And that's the challenge that most of us are having today. Every material thing that was created by humans were first imagined. Henry Ford first imagined what a car would be like before he built a Ford. He imagined. And my question to a lot of us is, how much of our time do we spend imagining? I'm going to break bread before this is all over. How much time of our life do we spend imagining? Muhammad Ali said, the man who has no imagination has no wings. My question is, have we clipped our own wings from us being able to fly? My superpower is not in my ability to work from 8 to 5. My superpower is my ability to create from my mind like my daddy did. Have I disarmed myself from the matriculation through kingdom success by allowing myself to focus on things that are not that are not permanent in this world? What's up, Angelique? Thanks for joining us. Man, I'm already breaking bread, and I'm 12 minutes in. Creation begins in your mind before it becomes physical. And I'm gonna say this too. And this is what most people won't tell you. This is why I'm the motivational teacher to the masses. Creation starts in your mind, whether it's positive or whether it's negative. The ground doesn't care. The ground doesn't care what seed you sow. You were created to be imaginative. You were created to create from here. If it's negativity, guess what? You created. You can sow nightshade or you can sow corn, is what the Stranger Secret said, and they will grow in abundance at the same rate. It doesn't matter what you imagine, positively or negative. You are hardwired to bring forth great success. And we talked about that about 2 months ago. You are hardwired to generate good success. But if you meditate on or you allow your mind to wander to what's negative, I'll tell you right now, like my tolerance for the news is about right here, right now. The majority of everything you hear or see is negative. Well, I mean, I ain't saying like discrediting what's going on in the world, but what I can't allow is all that negativity to clog up my creative genes. And that I'm so bogged down about what's going on in this world that I can't think of the world anymore. I just broke bread for somebody out there. I just broke bread for somebody out there. Man, trust me on this. Motivational teacher to the mass. You never talk about what's going on in the world or current circumstances of the world as it is right now. You never have. Listen, man, I know another brother was shot today. The police thought that his weapon was a stun gun. I know, man. I see what's going on. You had a brother in the military last night, got stopped, got pulled over, got tased. I see what's going on in the world. And I know all of this is wrong. I'm not discrediting what's going on. I know coronavirus is going on out here in this world. I know that people are dying. Trust me on this. I get it. I get it. That we are in this world and we have to operate in this world. I get it. Like I have to have the same talks with my son about take your hood off when you go in stores, or I have to have the same talk with my son about take your hands out your pocket when you're walking through stores. I gotta have the same talk with my son as he's my son. Both my kids gonna be big just like their dad. How not to appear aggressive when you're having a normal conversation. How we have to smile more to appear more approachable. I'm having these same conversations with my kids. I'm not saying that these things are not out here, but I'm saying these things shall not come near us. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I know that we are in tricky times right now. I'm not discrediting what's going on out there, but what I am saying that we can't allow what's external to affect us internal. I just broke bread out there for somebody. It's okay if we come up with a plan of how to train and teach young black men how to matriculate in this world that we have today. It's okay. But what we can't allow these things to happen is to seep in and put out our fire and dim our light. Even more, like now, I feel even harder that my light has to shine harder right now, so I could be a great example to these young men of how to matriculate through a system that is somewhat biased. They need examples of somebody who was willing to go through the fire, who was willing to go through the valley of the shadow of death, but did not fear any evil. For thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Either we believe that in trying times and we stand on the front line proclaiming the good news, or we fall by the wayside. We got to determine what we're sowing into our imagination, because what we sow is the harvest that we reap. If you sit there and you think on coronavirus 24 hours a day, if you sit there and you think on it 24 hours a day, eventually you're going to begin to attract those things to you. Angelique chimed into this conversation. My mom didn't want me to go outside after Ahmaud Arbery, but eventually things had to get going. I agree. Ahmaud Arbery happened in Georgia. Matter of fact, I did a speaking engagement shortly after that down there in Glenn County. And it's sad what went on. It's sad that happened to him. But somebody got to be here to show these young men of how to approach their life without anger and aggression because of what happened, and to be able to begin to think and create solutions from your imagination that change the systemic racism from the top down or from the bottom up. If we negate to include our mind and our imagination, we perpetuate the problem, because now at that point we're complicit. But if we begin to think, if you're passionate about that, which some of us are, God's given everybody all gifts and talents, that if you're passionate about that solution might be the one that you're supposed to create. But we have to we can't become so emotional that we only see the problem as the problem and we don't use our mind to see solutions. You're only valuable. See, and this is the challenge with people. I'm going to say make mere humans. What's up, Mom? Thank you for joining us. The problem with mere humans in my mind, I ain't gonna say the problem. The challenge with mere humans is mere humans only know how to point out the problem. That's so wrong down there what happened. We all know it's wrong. Getting on the news and talking about it's a problem does not solve anything. We need some kingdom-minded people that are able to function mentally, that are able to function out their imagination and create a future solution to what's their current problem. I just broke bread right there. I just broke bread. But what a lot of people do, and I ain't mean to go this way, but I'm going to go this way since I'm going. But what a lot of us do, we process all the information from our emotions. And all we can do is just get into the problem. And now we become a part of the problem because my emotions are driving my decisions and not my imagination, or the part of me that's made my creator, where I can come up with solutions. It's amazing. Man, I don't know how we got here. There's nowhere on my notes, but since we're here, let's get to it. Let's get it. Since we're here, Vaniqua, let's get it. I don't know at what point does a mere human says that okay, I know it exists. Like, watch the news. Truth, solution, conversation needs to be normalized. We got to have it. We got to have it. And I'm saying it's okay to have these conversations, but we got to have these conversations level-headed. We got to have these conversations with, can I say it? This is my motivational Monday. We got to have this conversation with our emotions on the back burner and our imaginative and creative solution powers on the front burner. That I can't get offended because someone says something that I don't like. I can't allow my emotions to drive me to a decision that doesn't fit my character. I just broke bread for somebody. And that's why some of us are being crop potted. So when we get to the place where we are being confronted, that we don't respond emotionally. Like, it's too many of us right now. Man, I know it's heavy right now. You can see where my heart is right now. That is heavy out there tonight. And I see that, you know, that I listen, I have never said to expect the world to be fair. I've never said that. I do realize that there are challenges that exist for some of us, or for some of you all, or for me, that may not exist for everybody else. I've never said expect it to be fair. I think one of my favorite, the world hated me, so expect for it to hate you. But be of good cheer. I have already overcome. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Be of good cheer. Why? Because your head is connected to me. If you're connected to the source, you are a resource. You don't respond emotionally. You respond to change. The worst thing in the world, the computer better not restart. The worst thing, I'm telling you, the worst thing for the world, let me say it that way. The worst thing for the world and the world system, I got something just, let me see, can I get this thing on without restarting this computer? The worst thing in the world and for this world system is a kingdom-minded person that saw a problem and that have indignant anger with that problem and then start thinking of solutions. That's how we change the world. I felt chills all over my body. I felt chills all over my body. The worst thing for this world and the world system is a person that is tapped into the source and sees a problem and now becomes resourceful because they tapped into their creative ability to change this doggone world. These are they that were meant to change the world. Stop walking around talking about what the problem is. We got to start talking about what the solution is. If you see that daycares in your city are not doing right by kids, maybe that's your passion. Maybe that's your goal in life, is to start one. If you see the RNs on your floor not handling patience with compassion, maybe that's your job right now, to be the head RN on that floor. I don't know. But where you're passionate, don't respond emotionally. Respond with a level-headed understanding that I have creativity that I have yet sparked because I'm connected to the source. That was for free. Anybody that missed that, that's on y'all. Man, I'm telling you, it's some truth that's being swung around here. We are swinging, man, I'm going to change it. We are slinging truth. And I'm telling you, man, I could run right now because I know the lives that are being changed with, motivational teachers. And that's why I pride myself on being different. Don't try to put me in the mold of Eric Thomas. Don't try to put me in the mold of Inky Johnson. Don't try to put me in the mold of, I don't know who else is out there. That ain't who I am. And I love when people try to comparison game. You can't compare me. I'm connected to the source. If anything, you can say he looked like his dad. I'm connected to the source. What I do is not supposed to be what somebody else is doing because I am an original. And my mind is, boy, come on, Ant. Come on, Ant. My mind is engaged with what I'm doing. The moment you become engaged into what you do is the second you release yourself from being in competition. Oh my God, I just broke bread. I'm not in competition with no man, no woman, no anybody, because my mind is engaged and God is giving me fresh ideas. Let me say it this way. My I am has been awakened every day to new and fresh ideas because I'm engaged. I love the story of Walt Disney. Walt Disney pitched his idea of his theme park over 300 times before nobody took it, and he had to end up doing it from scratch himself. Walt Disney World, they said he was crazy when he tried to pitch the idea because they didn't understand that he was a man with a dream that had an imagination. I love this Walt Disney quote. Walt Disney said, first, and I'm gonna tell you where a lot of us, man, I got to get back. I got some stuff I got to get to tonight. He said, first, and I think this is where we're wrong. Walt Disney said, first, think. Second, dream. Third, believe. And fourth is finally dare. Let's break this down into small bite-sized pieces. He said, first, think. Oh my God. He said, first, think. First, think. Many of us want to dream first. Oh, I need to dream. He said, first, think. Out of your thinking, then comes the dream. Listen, your mind is only made up of your past experiences. It's only made up from what you've seen, heard, or spoken in the past. You have to first think your way to a new dream. I'm breaking bread right here. Every day is a new idea, a new day. Angelique said, a single idea can change the world. Come on, man. Walt Disney showed us that, slinging that truth. You better catch this knowledge. I'm telling you, I'm breaking this bread. We have to first think. We want to dream first. You got to, if you're not thinking, then even your dream would be limited. If you're not thinking, your dream is limited to only your experiences. We got to start thinking. I've challenged my sales team that every Monday morning, when everybody else is running out to the field to see customers, I told my team, I want you to meet for the first hour of every week, every Monday from 8:30 to 9:30. I want you to meet as a team, and I want you to come up with your plan of action. I want you to think about how you're going to execute this week. What are you going to do differently that nobody else in this industry is doing? How do my secular teams always perform? Because we think. I unleash that super weapon. I trust we got great people, but people are taught to just follow the system like a robot. And I'm saying, unleash your mind and become passionate about what you're doing. And then at that moment, you start finding new revelations. You start, I'm saying it this way, your I am started to become awakened to knowledge you didn't even know existed. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the awakened I am. One of my favorite passages of scripture. Now unto him that is able to do exceedingly abundantly all that we can what? Ask or think. Whatever you're thinking, he can do more. But notice they said, ask or think. Ask or think. Ask or think. You can't ask unless you've thought of it. The secret weapon is that we have to engage our mind. Why would Iron Man ever go fight without Jarvis? Why would Captain America ever go to war or go to fight without his shield? Tell me, why in the world would Thor go into a fight without his hammer? Help me understand that. Because you're going into a fight where it's already fixed and it's already limited. And that's why the challenge of us being so engaged to what's going on in this world and being so engaged, I'm going to say this, social media, being so engaged in the media of this world, it limits your ability to ask or think. Thank you, Angelique. It limits your ability to ask or think. I'm breaking bread right now. And it's according to the power that works in you. It's according to the power that works in you. And the challenge for a lot of humans is the fact that we have an idea, or I have a thought and I get told no once, and I've thrown that idea away to the wolves, and I'm no longer engaged mentally in that idea. And 6 months later, I grabbed another idea that's supposed to be fresh and brand new. Now, I'm not saying that if you get an idea, don't try it. Sometimes you got to miss it to make it. But at some point, you got to say, man, I got to stick with something. I got to throw my whole self at something. If it's wrong, I believe that God has spiritual bumpers. That if it's wrong, he'll bump you to the right path and you'll get to where you're supposed to be sooner or later. But the key is that you got to give your imagination. You have to give your mind to something. You cannot allow it to be dormant. And to me, that's the challenge for people that goes to work for work on the same job. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. They go to the job to the same job for 40 years. I've been at the same place of employment. I've been going the same job for 40 years. My challenge to us is, check your boy out. My challenge to us is, are we limiting what we believe or think? I had a call the other day of someone that had been a challenging occupation, place of employment that has been challenging for years. And they just found the courage to start going on Indeed to look for another job and found a job that paid them 25% more than the job they were in. And it was somebody that they already knew that would left that job and went over to that job. That it was already set up, but before they started asking or imagining, they stayed in that negative situation, complaining and whining for so long that they had started to believe that that was their lot in life. And I'm telling you, the great I am is awakening your I am. Come on, Edwin. Come on, Mom. The great I am is awakening your I am for a purpose such as this. Don't think that this is all it is. Man, you got so much more on the inside of you, but the key is we have to release it. This thing does not, it doesn't happen osmosisly, but you have to release it. Unleash your mind. Unleash your talent. Most people talking about talent. I'm telling you, like most of us don't know what we have in us because we live life based on a set of guardrails that our environment has taught us to live in. This is the only job I can have. Why? Because somebody told us we need to work there 30 years, get some good benefits, and get a gold watch and call it quits. And it may be that you're called to be there for 30 years, but you're not called to be the base employee for 30 years. You called to run the department. You called to run the doggone company. You've been called to run the whole doggone floor. You've been called to run the whole doggone the area, the city. Like, stop limiting yourself there. This is all like this is all. No, I can tell you this. I can say this, and I feel confident in saying this, that we are supposed to dominate our domain. I'm not saying that we dominate people. I'm not saying, but wherever I am, I'm supposed to prosper. Like I talked about it, Joshua 1:8, I talked about it for a long time. I'm supposed to prosper. I don't get promotions by luck. I don't get increases by luck. I'm like a tree planted by the rivers of living water. What is a tree that is planted by living waters? What is it supposed to do? It's supposed to prosper. You're supposed, ladies and gentlemen, this game is fixed. You're supposed, man, that's why you got to listen to the motivational teacher to the masses. This game is fixed. You're supposed to prosper. If you're not prospering, there's a disconnect between the great I am and your awakened I am. You are like a tree planted by, I keep hearing this, boy. You are like a tree planted by the rivers of living water. What are you supposed to do? Prosper. If you're not, then there's a disconnect between the awakened I am and the, come on, Angelique, say it. I am supposed, man, how did he get that promotion? He's connected to the great I am. It seems like everything he does, it just works out. It's supposed to. It doesn't matter what it looks like. You're supposed to prosper. Stop playing yourself down. You are made in the image and likeness of your Almighty. It's according to the power that works in you. 3 benefits to living out of your imagination. I wanted to hit these tonight. 3 benefits of living out of your imagination. Number 1, you enhance your problem-solving skills. Now, I want you to think about it. Some of us got jobs. Some of us got businesses. It's a bunch of us on here. Think about it. In your place of employment, how many people would you say in your direct domain right around you, how many people talk about problems and how many people in your circle talk about solutions? See, I got to do this. I hate to say, I don't hate to say it. I got to be truthful. Small-minded people talk about problems. All they want to do is point out the obvious. Ooh, that he didn't treat, he didn't do, she didn't do. Small-minded people only want to point out problems. Big-minded people come in with solutions. You look at the CEO is not paid for pointing out problems. The CEO is paid for finding solutions. That's why nobody that's putting their hand to something daily in the shop or in the business would ever make as much as the person with the ideas. The person that are solving problems are all the way up to the Pfizer CEO when it came to these injections, or Moderna CEO when it came to COVID. They act fast and they thought they were being more real, and they thought bigger than these other CEOs, and they were able to create a solution. And that's why, did you get Pfizer? Did you get Moderna? And now they can't come out with which one did you get? Why are we saying that? Because those CEOs invested before other CEOs did. Why? Because they get paid for the ideas. The person that is in the lab, however they doing it, whatever they're doing with the COVID vaccines, they're making much less than the person with the idea of the investment. Engage. What makes LeBron James so special is LeBron plays basketball with his body, but LeBron is operating from the mind of a businessman. What makes Tyler Perry special is in the fact when he was doing their plays, it was saving his money, knowing that he had a CEO on the inside of him with TPS Studios. What made Walt Disney so special was because he already knew. Like, this is a $1 billion idea, and I gotta see it through. They get paid for the execution of the ideas in their mind. The person, listen to your boy, the person with the ideas always make more money than the people with the execution. Oh man, y'all don't believe me, do you? Y'all don't believe me, do you? Ask Stephen Jobs. Stephen Jobs started Apple. They voted Stephen Jobs out of Apple, right? And then Stephen Jobs, Apple ended up going down, and Stephen Jobs took he took a position somewhere else. Apple started going down, and then they brought Stephen Jobs back, and Apple started going back up. Why? Because he was the one with the idea. Ideas trump. Oh my God. If you come up with the idea and you make the plan for the execution, it trumps the people that are executing the idea. Use your brain. Operate from your head, from your deity. What's up, Q? It trumps the. And I know, like, that sound may sound. It's not demeaning to anybody that's doing anything. I'm just saying that you possess the ability to come up hither, but until we start operating from this mind, then we always will play we'll always fight below our weight class. You were meant to be a heavyweight. Why you welter? Why you settle for welterweight when you were born to be a heavyweight? You got to enhance your problem solving skills. I dare somebody to go to work tomorrow and you say, man, boss, or whatever you call them, I saw this problem and I saw that this is not working the way it's supposed to. And these are two solutions that I came up with to help make this smooth in order to make my shift run smoother for other people, or in order to make your job easier. Or do you have any problems that I can help you solve today? If you go to your manager or you go to your boss with those ideas tomorrow, you will stand out like a sore thumb on you. I guarantee you, nobody goes to their boss with solutions. People only goes to their boss with problems. I just broke bread for some of you all. Some of you all want to know how to get promoted. Some of you all want to know how to start your own business. Find a problem and solve it. How do I move over in my corporate company? Find a problem and solve it. Come on, Angelique, use your brain. 3 benefits to living out of your imagination. Number 1, enhance your problem solving skills. Instead of us training our kids how to be employees, we should train our kids how to think. How to think. Instead of giving them answers, we should be asking questions and allowing them to come up. Dad, we had this concept in class today. We were doing, what do you call it, the reciprocal multiplication division. I didn't remember it. Can you help me? Like, where else can you go get that information? Like, now you're operating in a world with a wealth of information. Where else can you go get the information? YouTube. Nice. It's a resource. And now he was upstairs when I came downstairs trying to figure out how to do it. Because if I tell him, he doesn't remember. If he has to solve the problem, now it's ingrained in his brain. Now the memory of what he went through is embossed because he had to put his hands to the plow and not look back. And my question to us is, we have to train our kids how to be problem solvers and not train them how to be high-paid employees. We have to train them. Yeah, come on. I'm glad you started early, Vaniqua. And then so many of our kids are zombies, or in their own life, or so many of us adults are zombies in our own life, and we're being controlled by everybody else. Have control of our mind except us, that we can't. You just said the truth, that I can't tell you truth unless somebody else tell it to me. I have no thought process about where my life should go, so therefore I receive what other people say about me, and my life now becomes dogma. Dogma is living your life through somebody else's lenses. And now my life has become dogma because I disqualify and I took my mind off of what's real. And Angelique saying, that's what I do on my Colorful Queens and Kings program. I teach kids to think creatively and solve problems. If they learn how to do it now, it was transformed over as an adult. Number one, enhance your problem solving skills. Number two is thinking out of your imagination preserves your memory. According to a neurological study, being imaginative creates more neurons in your brain. If you continue to utilize your imagination later in life, you are 73% less likely to develop memory problems that lead to dementia. And we know that, we've known that word, that if you don't use it, you lose it. Or I think I wasn't going to quote the Bible, but I ain't even go into that right now. We've had this concept around for a while, that if you're not using these gifts and abilities, nothing stays the same. Nothing stays the same. Either you're growing or you're dying. This study said if you are using your imaginations, you're 73% less likely to develop problems that lead to dementia, because your body is used to being able to create thoughts. All thoughts are neurons going across one synapses to another one in your mind. The more you use those synapses, they don't wear out, the stronger the connection between the synapses become. The more you use your brain and you're creating from it, the more you do it, the easier it becomes to create from your brain. I just broke bread. It's like if you're bench pressing, the more you bench press, the stronger you get. The less you bench press, the weaker you get. If you're doing no bench press, you're so weak. And the more you exercise this thing called your mind, the easier it becomes to create from it. I just broke bread. The challenge with most of us is not that we lack the ability to do it. The challenge with most of us is that we don't want to give the energy that is required in order to do it. It's work. I agree. Like, we think physical work is work. Like, okay, I got to go do this, I got to do that, I got to do it. But staying mentally active is work. It requires that you are intentional. Like I tell you, like I never get bored with what I do, whether it's speaking or whether it's training or whether it's motivating or whether it's coaching my kids. I never get bored with it, because there's always a new problem. I've been doing this job, I'm bored. There's always a new problem, and the more problems I solve, the more equipped I am to perform at the next level. If you are an assistant coach, the more problems that you solve as an assistant coach, it makes you more qualified to be a head coach. I'm giving you the keys to the kingdom. I just broke bread right there. I just broke bread right there. And see, most of us think that what we're going through right now is minute, like why I always got to go through it, because you need to perform and solve problems as an assistant coach before you go for the head coaching role. And a lot of times the kingdom way is for you to be over prepared for the next role when you get to it, versus being underprepared and failing in the next role. We should be so prepared for the next role that when we get it, it should seem like sweatless victory. We're going to solve the problem, and some days it's going to be tougher than others, but it should seem like, man, I am in with the great I am awakening my I am in control. Let's go. Let's move from the assistant coach to the head coach. Number 2, it preserves your memory. And number 3, which I think is most important, is that it piques your curiosity. And we tell our kids when they're young to be very imaginative. We tell our kids, like, what do you want to be? We ask them, what do you want to be when you grow up? Or if you could be anything in this world, what would you be? Like we try to pique their curiosity. My question to us is, how are we piquing our curiosity? You should always be asking, how in the world can I change something? How can I perform something? How can this be made better? I like Albert Einstein said, imagination is more important than knowledge, for knowledge is limited, whereas imagination embraces the entire world, stimulating progress and giving birth to evolution. Imagination is not limited. Bread broken, yes, it should pique your curiosity. You should never get to a place in life where you say, I'm done. You should never get to that place where you say, I am done, because you still got problems that need to be solved by you. Pique your curiosity. How can systems work better? Instead of me saying, okay, let me go on here, let me be the next ET, or let me be the next whomever. No, how can I improve this whole self-help industry? How can I be different? How can I add me to this self-help industry in order to improve the lives of people listening to me? It is never my goal to be the same as somebody else. Well, I see that person, I just want to be just like it is. I say I got 2 boys in the house. They're growing up under the same experience. They're doing the same thing. But I tell them neither one should try to be just like the other one. Or neither one should just try to be just like me or be just like their mama. You are not a carbon copy. You are fearfully and wonderfully and uniquely made for a moment such as this. Be uniquely you. Be unapologetically you. I ain't got time to apologize because I'm different. I don't have time to apologize because somebody don't agree. We were on Bridge of the Nations, got a little comment. Somebody didn't agree with what we were saying or what we were doing. I ain't got time to apologize to everybody that don't like this flavor. I'm telling you, I'm uniquely me. And I believe I've been created for a moment such as this to do something special in this earth. I have no time to be juggling and trying to become like somebody when I'm already like the great I am. I have no time to be trying to become a carbon copy. My curiosity has been piqued on, Ant, how can you be the better version of who you are? My curiosity has been piqued, Ant, how are you going to be better tomorrow than you are today? And as long as we're on that journey, it doesn't matter about the things. It doesn't matter about what we lack. The moment I know is I'll be better tomorrow than I am today. I know I encountered setbacks today, but I will be better tomorrow because of the setback than I was today. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. In your own words, I'll retire when I leave this earth. That's when I'm going to give up the ghost. You'll know when I'm retired and I'm done is when the breath departs from this body. That's when you're going to know I'm done. But as long as Anthony is on this side of the dirt, I got work to do. My curiosity is being piqued. There's something that I can be doing better tomorrow than I can be today. And see, most of us have to adopt that growth mindset, is that I don't have to have it all right today to start. But I can have a meager beginning and therein is great. But I got to start today, learn from it, and make tomorrow better. Learn from it, make the day after tomorrow better. Learn from it, make the day after 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 tomorrow, yesterday, better. I got to learn from it. And most of us have adopted this mindset that I got to be perfect to start. No, disassociating yourself from reality allows you to imagine the possibility. The moment you walk away from reality, it's the moment you begin to live in the kingdom. Oh, I just broke bread. The moment you start saying, the moment you start disassociating yourself from what it looks like today and going with what it can be tomorrow, it's the moment you walk away from reality. You'll want to explore and investigate promising outcomes both already in your life and outside of it, acquiring more knowledge and skills along the way. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't view this world as the world is. We view this world as we are. Oh my God, I just broke bread. We don't view the world as the world is. We view the world from where we are. Two people can look at the same situation, and one person sees the cup half full, the other person sees the cup half empty. Two people looking at the same cup and see it completely different. Two people looking at what's going on in America as it relates to black men. One person see it as a problem, and another person sees it as this is my opportunity to create a solution. I'm breaking bread right now. We see the world from where we are. That's why it's important that you got to be better tomorrow than you were today. So the same problem I look at today, I'll be better to look at it tomorrow. And too many of us are going around Earth in the same little spiral rotation. We just like we on the Earth axis, we're going around it the same way. We're not acquiring new information, not unleashing new neurons. We're not creating new experiences, new emotions for us to be able to deal with the same problem differently. And we walk around the same mountain for 40 years. We're looking to eat manna from heaven when God has already said, man, I've delivered you. You were delivered from day one. Now it's time for you to start moving in the direction of the new mindset, of the delivered mindset, lest you have to keep walking around the wilderness. It's our freedom day. You need to turn in your papers today. I'm no longer a slave to my old way of thinking, and I'm no longer a slave to that mindset. I got to today start living out of my imagination, creating new thoughts to give me new experiences, whether it's physically or if it's just mentally. They work the same, ladies and gentlemen. Your body cannot tell the difference between you having a mental experience and you have a physical experience. Have you ever been so afraid that you started shaking? Your body cannot tell the difference. Have you ever woke up from a dream and your body was reacting? You wake up in a full sweat, looking around, trying to see what's going on. Why? Your body can't tell the difference from a mental and from a physical. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. We got to start operating from our deity. We got to start operating from a position of authority on this earth. I just broke bread. We have to start operating from a position of authority on this earth. Your body doesn't know. Listen, your body is so fearfully and wonderfully made in the image of God that your body can't tell whether a mental experience is physical or is it mental. And that's the challenge for most of us, that we've allowed fear, false evidence appearing real to creep in our lives. And now our mind can't tell the difference between what's a real threat and what's not. I just broke bread. I just broke bread tonight. I'm challenging everybody to go back and listen to this 5, 6, 7 times. I don't care. And trust me on this. Y'all, everybody know I don't care about how many views I get. I don't care. I only care about you getting this information and where it's locked into your mind so you can act on it and create new experiences. Yep, the body doesn't know its own limits, Q. Operate from within. Jesus walked on water, which they said was humanly impossible. And then not only did he walk on water, he called his boy to do it too. I'm telling you, one changed mind can change the world. I like that. One changed mind can change the world. Angelique said either focus on opportunity or opposition. Two people can look at the same situation completely different. One see the cup half full, other one sees it half empty. We see the world not as the world is, but we see the world from where we are. There's no problem in the world that we don't possess the ability to solve. It's just how we approach the problem. I just broke bread. Man, I broke bread tonight. 52 minutes in, and I'm breaking bread. Disassociating from your realities allows you to imagine the possibilities. The moment you say, man, maybe who I am is not who I'm supposed to be. The moment you start reading and you allow the great I am to awaken your I am, the moment you become free from this world. And whom the Son set free is truly free indeed. Man, I hope you experience this level of freedom. Like, man, no man holds my promotion in his hands. No man can promote me. No man can take me down. You understand that the great I am, God holds the king's heart in his hand like putty? Don't you understand that they're not even in control? Sometimes people, I don't know why I like him. I just like him. You know why? Because the king is holding. And some people are like, man, I don't know. His personality is brash. I don't care for him. I don't like him. You know what? That doesn't bother me, because maybe that's not what's given to me for this moment. And when it's my time, I'm going to get there. And you got to be okay with being patient. You got to be okay to saying, okay, maybe I don't get it microwave. Maybe I'm crock pot. And you have to be okay with incremental small gains. Yep. Yep. We got to be okay with that. Ladies and gentlemen, woo, this is one for the ages. And I can tell you right now, this is one that I'm going to definitely go listen to multiple times. This is one that that go hashtag it 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, the power of your imagination is the ability for you to change your life from the inside out. We have to change our relationship with this world. Your body, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. Of your Trinity, your body is your weakest member. Spirit, soul, body. Of the Trinity, your body is the weakest member. Of the Trinity, some of us, our soul and our spirit war. And that spirit is the part of us that live out of our imagination like we were created. That's kingdom living. But we got to train this outfit, this earth suit. We got to train it to line up with what I'm imagining from the great I am. We have to allow the great I am to awaken our I am. And at that point is where we have tremendous success. Ladies and gentlemen, you all have been phenomenal tonight. I'm encouraging you to live out of your imagination, to know what you see is not real, but what you think and imagine is more real than what you see. Think on positive note, meditate in this thing day and night, and observe to do, that you may make your way prosperous. Thank y'all for chiming in here with me on tonight. I know it's been 2 weeks, but your boy hopped back in here just like riding a bike. Thank y'all for getting in here. Q, what's up, bro? I know I owe you a call. I'm gonna get back to you. Angelique, my mom, Vaniqua, my sister, E.T. Thank y'all for joining us out there, man. This has been phenomenal. I always enjoy, and I never take your time for granted. I will always have fresh bread when you sit down with a motivational teacher. If it doesn't change lives, I would rather just go eat a sandwich or lay down or something. But if you show up with me, your boy gonna break bread. Write in your schedule that I am going to join. I'm gonna make a commitment. I'm gonna make a commitment to do this for 3 months, and make the commitment to meet me here on Mondays. Make the commitment to meet us on Bridge the Nation on Sunday. Make the commitment and say, I'm going to do this for 3 months and see if my life can be drastically different. Make the commitment. Commit to yourself. Invest in yourself. Everybody wants somebody else to give them $50,000. Invest in yourself. Make the commitment to be here for 6 months, and let's see what the great I am can do through your awakened I am. And until next time, I am truly challenging you all to wage war on mediocrity. Your boy is out.
See, it ain't no friend to me. Wage a war, wage a war, wage a war, wage a war against mediocrity. It